Okay, an interesting topic I'm going to talk about today, and that is what happens if you get caught short in the bush. It's happened to me the last few times I've been out. It's not the best, so you got to sort of work out what you can use, and obviously making sure it's safe and clean for both nature and also for any other bushcraft or hiking, camping people who are going to be frequenting the paths that you're on as well. What I've started doing now is I've taken one of these, and it's just a Ziploc bag with some toilet roll and some hand sanitizer wrapped up through the inside of the tube. Pack it all down, it's nice and neat. Stick that in your bag, and if you do get caught short, you can whip that out. You can go to the toilet using it and at least keep your hands sanitized and clean if you're going to be handling food and things later on. But if you don't, then you need to know, I guess, how to be as clean as possible, how to wipe your ass at the end of the day. So the two best natural materials that I found for wiping your butt as efficiently as possible, as cleanly as possible in the bush, is ferns and also paperbark from the paperbark tree. Now, I usually have a little bit of paperbark on my kit for fire starting. Definitely not enough to wipe your ass at the end of the day, but luckily there's lots of ferns that usually frequent the national parks and things, so it's just about picking the right sort of fern which isn't going to rip your butt to shreds. This is my favourite type of fern here. And what you need to do is you need to look for the younger bits of fern. Now, as you can see, this is nice and soft and supple. That doesn't hurt your butt too much when you're wiping. This stuff here, which is a lot older, is a lot coarser. It's a lot of a harder foliage. You definitely want to go for the younger shoots, and you want to get a decent handful and really pack it and make it nice and thick when you're both putting down a layer that you're going to be doing your business on, and also for when you're wiping. Definitely do not go for the darker, tougher material, because it will rip your butt to shreds. Okay, so I've moved way off the main track, and I've made sure that it's definitely not an area that's regularly frequented by people, and also it is well away from any water sources as well. It's another very important point for when you're going to the toilet out in the bush. Make sure you are well away from any water sources. The last thing you want is for your waste to be getting into a water supply and poisoning other people. So what I found here is a nice little quiet place where I can perch myself. I can either lean up against the rock or I can hold on to the front of that bit there and do my business. What I'm going to do now is show you how to make the hole. Okay, so the good thing about this area here that I've located is that the ground is lovely and soft, as you can see, and what you want to do is you want to dig down as far as you can go. Basically, you want a nice big hole, both for aiming and also for making sure that your waste is as far from the surface as possible. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time now digging down as best as I can. Okay, so I've got a nice hole now. It's quite deep. It's definitely full length of my hand, and that was just using a stick that I just picked up off the ground. If you do have the ability to carry a little trowel, you can get those, I think, from Sea to Summit for a pretty decent price. But like I said, stick does good. Now what I'm going to do is, obviously, if I was going to the toilet, would be lean up against this bit here, put my legs either side, and do my business into the hole as accurately as possible. Okay, so I've got my wiping material, and what I've done is I've actually stripped off the softer leaves from the main bit here, and I've folded them over, and I've got myself a nice little bundle here, and I would use that basically to wipe myself. There's definitely no way that my fingers would be getting through the middle there. It's actually packed down quite thick, so you make sure that when you're wiping, you're not going to make a mess of your hands as well. Obviously, your business will be in the hole. Once you finish wiping, you just put that down on top, and you go again, and you keep going until your butt was clean. And if you've got any leftover bits, what I like to try to do then is actually pack them down on top, like so, and then using a stick, just push it down a little bit as best as possible. Then you can basically just push all of this soil back over the top. And make sure it's nice and flattened down. As you can see, that is where my hole was, and there's absolutely no sign that I've been there, and it goes back to the whole ethos of leaving no trace. The hole was nice and deep. It was away from public areas where people could accidentally either stumble across it or stumble across me doing the business, and it's also well away from any water sources that I can find. So if I was taken short on this trip, I definitely would have been able to look after myself if I didn't have any kit on me to clean myself and tidy up. Hopefully you found this video helpful and relevant and useful. It's certainly not a subject people like to broach, so hopefully it's giving you a bit of insight as to how to do it.